Hello, this is an instructional video on how to upload imagery tiles to IDCT Do Survey application for Android tablets and an example of undertaking a survey. Now, I will provide a Google Drive link which you can download the data for. In that folder you should find the following data sets here. Now I'm using Android as on an emulator on a Windows machine because I don't have a tablet with me, but it's essentially the same process. So we go into our file manager, start at home. I'm just going to navigate to the shared folder. This is just a shared folder between my Windows machine and my emulator tablet. So I'm just going to navigate to here. Here we go. So there are my Kathmandu tiles, my OpenStreetMap tiles, my student location PDF maps, and my student samples. Now I want to move my Kathmandu tiles, my OpenStreetMap tiles, and my student sample KML files into the appropriate places. So let's go back to home. I'll simply navigate to IDCT Do, Map Tiles, and you can see there I've copied both folders of Kathmandu IDCT tiles and OpenStreetMap tiles. If we go back up one and it's KML, you can see I've copied Student 1 Core KML and Student 1 Main KML. It's important in this case, for KMLs, you only copy the KML files, whereas in the other case, in the map tiles, you copy the entire folder. Please be patient, the folders do have a lot of data, as every time we click the plus button to zoom in, it has to load a complete new set of tiles. Okay, so now we've sorted the data out. I'm just going to go back onto the Android screen. Here we go. I'm going to start the IDCT Do survey up. Here we go. Okay. So if we click on the KML layers and click Student 1 Core KML, the map will take us to where the KML file is. First of all, we want to start a survey. We do that by clicking the settings button here and project survey says setup. Now, we enter survey name, so I'll put my name in there. Project name, which we'll call it Kathmandu for now, Kathmandu test, and say these project details. And you can see it's come up there. So now we'll go back. Okay. If I click this option here, so here I have an options to select base maps. Now in the field, we won't be able to connect to the internet. So the only things that will be available to select are the tiles that we loaded, which are the Kathmandu IDCT tiles and the OpenStreetMap tiles. So I'll just load the Kathmandu tile, for example. We can see it's nicely loaded, and the OpenStreetMap tiles, there it's nicely loaded. Okay, so now we're assuming in this scenario that I am student 1. I have my tablet, which is loaded with the imagery, both of the satellite and OpenStreetMap, and it also has the Student 1 Core KML and Student 1 Main KML. The difference between the two KML files is that the Student 1 Core KML will cover us for all unforeseen circumstances. For example, illness or bad weather conditions or anything that could happen to prevent the survey. So that's ideally one can do the core survey samples in one day. There's only about 30 samples per student. So I'm student 1, I need to know where to sample, because the points here, as you can probably see, are quite small. Look, there's one, and there's some over here. They're quite small because buildings are small in relation to the study area we're looking at. So student 1 is given student location PDF maps. Student 1. So I load my student PDF map. Let's put this over here. Okay. Here we go. So I'm just looking at what core samples now. So there's a core sample down here, and I think I can see it just there. So we're going to zoom in again, and we can switch to. What's happening? Here we go. We switch to our Kathmandu imagery. There we go. There's the point there. We can see it, and it looks like the closest building to it is that building there. Building extraction was by no means perfect, so if it's not over a building, just select the nearest one. I also appreciate that it's difficult to survey buildings, for example in the airport, please respect people's property and don't get yourselves into any trouble, and be safe. So now I would like to start the survey. To do so, I simply click on it, and at the bottom right, click Start Survey. Okay, so the survey can be simple or complex, and by that I mean we can look at just longitudinal, or we can also look at longitudinal transfers. It's up to NSET how that is done, which one you choose. It's obviously quicker just to do the simple survey. So what if I don't know what any of these things are on my building? Well, good news is there are extensive help files on the Android itself. So here I've selected some options. I'm not sure what they are. I'm going to hit this help button here, which is in the settings, under settings, and we see precast concrete, a wide selection of a description and pictures showing us what it is. These are also exactly the same as the PDF document I provided for the students. Okay, so we move through the survey along the top here. We fill in it, all the blanks, but you might not be able to tell some things. For example, the lateral loading resistance system, because it's internal, you can't see it. Now, I prefer to ask building owners what they have, but obviously the building owner isn't standing outside their building all day. So what I have done for the NSET is produce tables that infer things. For example, in this case, what is the lateral load resisting system in place? Based on observable features, so for example, if we could see stone, or bricks, or I don't know, or white outers. Let's just say that's 30 and that's 10. So in this case, if we could see all these three things, we could conclude that the lateral load resisting system is moment frame. Perhaps we could just see stone, then we could say we were 60% confident that the lateral load resisting system is moment frame. Obviously, I appreciate these documents go on for 6 pages and you can't take 6 pages plus your map into the field. So it's up to the NSET to the extent they use these tables, if at all. Okay. Other useful things in this survey, so let's just scroll through here. Okay. We could also take a picture. So we just take a picture. This will mean that the picture is linked to the record. It's important to do it this way because if you do it any other way, the picture will not be linked to the record. You must be in the record, like I was just then. Let's take a picture. Let's cancel that. Now we've finished writing our record. We want to save it. We go settings here, save changes and favorite. We can also view link photos there, save changes and close, and help if covered, and delete the record if we would like to. So I'm going to click save changes and favorite. I'm going to say this is building 1. Now what this favorite does is this save changes and favorite. It's going to save it and then make it a favorite. So I'll show you what this does now. Okay, there we go. We have saved it. But the unfortunate thing is that this core layer has gone up. So we want to turn that back on. And we want to select our base layer again. Okay, so now we're going to move to, like, say, another sample around here. So there's the lake. Let's just zoom in a bit. Oh, there it is. I see it. Again, the closest building to it is probably this one. So I'm going to click there, and I'm going to say favorite. And as we can see, I can click building 1 there, and the attributes I just filled in have all come up, and I'm able to change as I wish. I can then click here, save changes and close. Do you want to save this observation? Yes. And as we can see on the map, there's my first observation here and my second observation there. Then just continually go through all the observations. As I said before about the camera, please do not click this camera button here. It will not link a photo to the record. It's very important. Once we're done, we click here and we click export DB snapshot to SD card. Okay, exporting it, and we can see it's exporting. Database snapshot exported. and it gives us the location where it is. The location should be, so we're going to exit the tool now. The location should be in the IDCT home. There it is, DB snapshots, and there it is. And now this is the database that I need you to send me, and that can either be via email, you can upload it to Google Drive, but whatever it is, I need that every day from every tablet to ensure data collection is going smoothly and to ensure a regular backup. Okay. I would also suggest that you do one survey for the core samples and another survey for the main samples. Don't intermix them, I can do that myself. Okay. That is pretty much everything for today. If you have any questions about what I've just explained, please email me. Okay? Hello again. I'm just now going to cover a few things that I missed in the first video and a few more advanced things of the app. So, every student must have a printed student location PDF map to take with them into the field, so they know where to look on the map for the sample locations. So let's open student 1 again. Let's just move it to the side of the screen. Okay. Now, we need to know how to edit points. So as you can see, there are my 2 points I added earlier. What if I want to say edit or delete one? Well, we click on this edit points button here, and then we click on the actual point itself, and again we go down to start survey, and you can see the option we selected earlier. If I want to edit it, I'll just go into it, I add some more details, plan shape, material walls, add a few more things here, roof maybe, roof shape. And once I'm finished, I just click here and I say save changes and close. Let's do that. Do you want to save this observation? Yes, I do. Okay, and the observation is saved. But what if I want to delete, say, this observation? Well, we have to click on edit points again. We click on the observation. We have to click start survey, and then we click on the options button here. And delete record. Are you sure you want to delete this record? Yes, I'm sure. And there we go, it's gone. Okay. The other thing about saving, so let me just add one more point. Let's just say, for argument's sake, let's add the camera. Here we go. Let's add the base layer. Okay, so there's one here, there's one. Let's zoom in, shall we? And we can see it there, and let's call it that building. Let's just start a survey and select one, and there we go, save changes and close. Yes. Now, if I were to close the application, the points I've added, so just these two, would be saved. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and just click there, and there the application closed. In fact, I'll come totally out of it, totally out of the thing. So I'm now just going to have to load my Android up again. This is just my Android emulator loading again. Just bear with me. Okay, here we go. So now I'm just going to load IDT survey. And then we've got where I am now. So, So I'm going to go with KMI layers and core. There we go, taking the point, and we can see those 2 points. Now, the only time that you must be careful is when you're exporting the data. For example, the export I did in the earlier video, that would have exported only the points I have then. So now, if I'm to export again by going the menu button here, export DB to snapfile, we can see it's happening, and now it will export only the points I have saved in the current map. Okay. So as I said earlier, you just, with the core samples, just keep going on the survey, and then once that survey is finished, be sure to export the data and send it to me, otherwise it may be deleted and wasted. We don't want that to happen. So make sure you export it, and we're exporting to DB snapshot to SD card, and then copy and paste that to me. I'll email it or put it on Google Drive or whatever you want. And then once we've finished our data collection for the core samples, we can start again for the main samples. So all we do there is as we did before, click here in the settings, clear our database. And for clear database, we just have to put delete in. I have to type the word delete in and click yes. Record has been deleted and we're back to the beginning. However, we've still got our KML, it's happened again. We've still got our KML data points loaded, and we can just zoom right there and we can add our tiles back. Like so, voila, fantastic. And now, well, we can actually switch to our main sample. And then now we're looking at the green triangles, which have been loaded. So as you can see, there is a green triangle there at the corner of the park, or this recreation ground. Now that's obviously not a building, so what I would like you to do is choose the closest one, so say this one, and I'll be able to see where you choose because I can see the points. So we put the point there, and we start the survey. Oh, sorry, we haven't actually created the survey yet. Sorry. So to get rid of that point there, we're just going to click cancel because we haven't added any data in. We're just cancelling the action we've just done. To start the survey, we repeat what we did earlier. Project survey setup. Type your name in. So Andrew. We'll call this Kathmandu student 1 underscore main. Project summary, if you want to give me, so what student number you've been allocated, or if this is a core sample or a main sample, and then save these project details, and you can see it comes up there. Okay. And then we just go back as such. And now we're going to add that point now. So we'll call it there. We start the survey, and as we did before, we fill the survey in. I appreciate some of these things as well. For example, occupancy, age and height, difficult to distinguish, but give your best estimate. But if the property owner is around, I'd try and ask them. But if they're not being receptive, just use your own judgment. Again, on this section, I'd use your own judgment, and again, on the final one, consequences, use your own judgment. Again, to save the record, we'll just go like this, save changes and close. Do you want to save the record? Yes, I do want to save this observation. And then we just complete the survey for our main samples, and once again, as long as we've saved our individual samples by starting the sample as such, and then starting the survey, save changes and close. Yes, I want to save the observation. We can open that up again tomorrow, and all the samples we surveyed will still be there. And again, to export the snapshot, it's just literally doing what it says, exporting the snapshot of data points you collected at that particular time. Yeah, I'd like a snapshot to be coming to me every day. Hopefully after the first day, that'll be all the core locations, and then on the following days, just keep updating. I realise that because these samples have now been changed to be representative wards, some students will have slightly larger samples than other students. What I recommend happening is that students who finish perhaps a day early because they have less samples, then on the final day, go out with students who still have samples to do. And when I say go out with them, I mean use, for example, if let's say student 1 has 90 samples to do, and student 2 has 150. Student 1 finishes a day early. Now on the final day, student 1 goes out with student 2. They're only using one tablet, and that is the one student 2 has been continually using. But now on the final day, instead of student 2 standing there and spending more and more time looking, writing, student 2 can just stand there and look at the building while student 1 fills all the details in on the tablet. It's important it happens that way around to keep consistency throughout the survey. So student 2 is consistently doing their own survey data collection. Just student 1 is now assisting with student 2 by typing it in the tablet. Anyway, that's what I suggest would happen. If you have any questions or queries, feel free to email me or arrange another Skype. As always, thank you for all your help, and I look forward to hearing from you.